Okay, hey SEO nerds. Juan here. I'm the director of SEO at Content Distribution. Welcome to another 15-minute keyword research challenge. And today's presentation is inspired by a comment that I read this week. I think it was this Monday, but by a fellow SEO manager who was answering a question how he does keyword research for a very competitive niche. That's also a big one, meaning has a lot of keyword opportunities that people can rank on. And the part of his answer, which inspired me to do this kind of a presentation today, was he said, "Well, I do it as I go along." And what he meant was he does keyword research as he goes along with publishing, as he goes along with content production, and that makes sense. I mean, that's how I did it, at least in the last 5 or 6 or 7 years before I joined CD.com, because you have to do it that way, right? You have to, it makes sense. You have to do your research, but also publish. You need to go on with production because that's how you get traffic, and that's how you, acquire an audience, and that's how you get to your business goals. And then, since it's such a big job, you need to do it as you go along, right? Wrong. I'm going to show you today how you can actually do it up front. I'm going to show you today how it's going to help you plan everything. And I'm going to show you how it's something that you can track right from the beginning. Okay, so let's jump into it, and then we can go into details. So I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to start by researching in Ahrefs. And today we have something sexy for you, and it's gonna be I want to see if I can. What are my opportunities to rank on everything erotic related? I'm gonna share with you why this is fun, apart from the obvious reasons, right? So I'm gonna start super broad: erotic and erotica. This is something that's gonna be in every keyword that I'm trying to target, right? I'm going to go to having same terms because I want to see how many keywords are there. And sure enough, it's going to be very huge. Yeah, 700,000. So let me, this is already a huge keyword set. This is something that I would need to go through in order to realize what's going to happen. But with this method that I want to show you today, I'm going to do something different. Since I want to dominate this entire vertical, well, at least that's my plan, I am going to try to incorporate as many keywords as possible in this research, okay? And that's why I'm not going to use the include function today to streamline something specific. I want it all. I'm just going to do the exclude function because I'm going to exclude massage and massages. Because I'm gonna go ahead and guess that's kind of spilling over into the porn territory, right? So I'm gonna exclude that. I'm gonna exclude the same word but in plural, and I'm gonna exclude near me. I'm gonna exclude any venues that might be promoting these things in organic. I don't know how many there are, but yeah, I'm gonna do that. And I'm also going to exclude monkey because that's just fucked up. Okay, I'm going to click apply. It's probably going to not give me, yeah, it's still close to 700K. That's cool. But I'm going to do another thing. Ahrefs has this very nice large database of new keywords, but I'm going to go ahead and say that I'm not interested in keywords that have volume less than 10. But I do want to have the keywords that have the volume of 10. It's going to be a lot of, probably guessing already, is going to be a lot of long tail keywords, but that's fine. I want that in my analysis. So if we do this, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to end up with a number of 27K keywords. Okay, what am I going to do now? Since this is an abstract experiment of not talking about a concrete business and what we want to achieve here, we just want to dominate this vertical all together. What I would need to do now is, go through these keywords, see which ones I'm going to group together, which ones I'm not going to use at all, which ones am I going to target as the main, most important ones, which are going to become my money pages, right? And then I'm going to explore, I guess, what the competition does. And, like my colleague said in that comment, I'm just going to do it as I go alone, right? No, yuck. I'm going to do it all up front right away, right here. Okay. I'm going to analyze all the 27K keywords that have the words erotic and erotica in it, so I can see what I can actually do for my business. And I'm going to export this, and the CSV that I export is the exact one that I'm going to import into Cluster AI. So the CSV that I download here is going to go right here. And this is a very not sexy UI. It's not something that is aligned with our topic today. But although we're going to touch up and make it more sexier as very soon, it's still going to be super safe to, super easy to use. So the CSV that you have downloaded, you're just going to drag and drop it right here. Then I'm going to choose Ahrefs because that's where I did my keyword list. I can choose my location. We're doing USA now, so I don't have to do that at all. I have this field when I can put in an email for additional recipient for my content manager or something, someone else. And here I can actually paste the link the link of my research that will actually track all of the include and exclude terms that I used here. I can paste that here, and that's something that Cluster AI remember for you once you get the deliverable. For a 25,000K keyword analysis, Cluster AI is going to take a couple of hours, and then it's going to appear in my import history. As you can see, I've already done this yesterday, so I can show you the deliverable. But before that, I want to come back to what I was saying at the beginning. It's quite normal that we do keyword research as we go along. It's just a fact of life. This is how it's been done since forever, right? There has to be manual work. There has to be an analysis from a human being. But for us at Content Distribution, ever since our first project, which you see now on your screen, we have been able to automate this process in a way that has saved us a lot of time and money. So for Dogipedia.org, which was a new website that did not have any kind of domain rating, we did not have a team of dedicated outreach specialists who are going to build our backlinks. We did not spend money to buy those backlinks or to have paid promotion or anything like this. We just publish high quality content, and the only two things that we had were Cluster AI, which then was an in-house tool and now available for all of you to use if you'd like. The second thing was we wanted to publish as many pages as possible at as shortest time period as possible. We did 200 pages in 6 months, and sure enough, 13 months later, we had organic traffic of 100,000 visitors per month, which is kind of even a bit more because this is also Ahrefs data. We ended up selling this website, but which changes the domain, but the rankings stayed. But another thing that did not change was our process. We kept using Cluster AI for projects again and again, and our last one is now at 500,000 organics per month with do not pay. And we did all of this by clustering keywords the way that I've shown you today. You just need to know what you want to target, and that can absolutely be an entire niche. And then what that allows you is to plan production up front. Here we were successful because we knew which 200 pages we want to publish. We knew that we can actually achieve success in terms of both traffic and conversions, because we could see all of the pages, all of the keyword opportunities, sorry, for the pages that we could publish. And now I want to show you what happens in this vertical that's about erotica. And here it is. This is the deliverable that Cluster AI sends you on your email. We call it the keyword opportunity analysis. And it actually groups all of the keywords together that it answers your question on what you need to group in order to publish content. To make it more clear, first column is the main keyword. The third column are all the variations that are grouped together with the main keyword, which you are going to be implementing on site. And the volume in the column in the middle is the aggregated volume of the main keyword and all of the variations, which is fetched from Ahrefs, but that is the only thing that's fetched from Ahrefs. Everything else by our AI is done through analyzing the pages of Google's search engine results. And that's done in a way where our algorithm goes to every single keyword that you have imported into Cluster AI, and it looks at the ranking. It looks at the pages that are ranking and then compares them in between, and that's how it decides, so to speak, on which things should be grouped together. Now, I have just done grouping for 27,000 keywords in 15 minutes. And the only thing I need to do right now is understand what are my priorities in terms of publishing. What do I want to write about? What the hell am I doing right here? And one thing I'm prepared for you guys today is I wanted to explore just a certain aspect of this huge keyword set, because I have now this sweet job as a content manager or an SEO manager to choose which topics I'm going to try to rank for. And what I just selected here and highlighted with the color yellow is something that I did just by searching Control F and photography. I wanted to see what's happening with photography in this sense, because that's going to be my first, let's say, batch of articles that I'm going to do. And that's how I highlighted the yellow rows here. And I want to show you through this example how these groupings look like. So erotic photos, yeah, makes sense. I mean, this is something that I would have probably figured out on my own, even without Cluster AI. But what I would not have figured out is which are the variations that I need to group together. So free erotic photography, well, I do not need to create a separate page for this. I need to create just one single huge page, which is going to revolve around erotic photos, right? I'm going to go down the line just to show you what's happening in this regard for other topics. Erotic Tumblr, that makes sense. That should be a separate kind of a page. Erotic photography, this is going to be a huge page that I can focus on. That makes sense. But let's go even further down. Black and white erotica makes sense. But here's what: if I want to focus, on photography, as it appears here, Cluster AI is giving me an answer. These are all the variations that I need to use on page. So no creating of separate pages for, images or pics or whatever else that might come into your mind. This is what I need to do in order to rank for this keyword and all the variations. Let's go down some more so I can show you how we avoid actually keyword cannibalization. So what you can be sure of is that if there is a page that's ranking for more than just one of these keywords, so if there's a page that's going to be ranking for lesbian erotic pictures and free erotic audiobooks, there is not a page on the internet, except maybe for one or two if it's a dominant website, that can actually rank for more than just one keyword in this column. I hope that makes sense. So let's go back to our job at hand here, where, sorry for the pun, where we look at the things that relate to photography. So I'm going to need to have a gay erotic Tumblr separate page for this thing. This is also interesting. Erotic couple. Okay, fine. Amazing. Boudoir. This has to be a separate page if I want to rank for something like this. It cannot be grouped with anything else. Vintage erotic photos. Okay, great. Uh, then again, we have Tumblr erotic photography. This is probably highly competitive, and this has to be a separate page, even though you have seen some things that are similar. And so on and so on. Yeah, couple photography. Okay, great. That needs to be separate. Male nudes makes sense. Awesome. Let's go down the line. Erotic black women. Okay, that all makes sense. Bondage, sure. Oh, here we go. Couples again. Awesome. Anyways, you get the point. I want to show you this on an example on a bigger kind of scale here. Let's say I want to do a bunch of articles about, stories, right? So let me show you. This is also quite interesting. If I just do the Control F search, you can see here that I need to create separate pages for free erotic stories and erotica stories. And that might make sense to somebody just by looking and research, but I would never have guessed that I would need to incorporate all of these variations on this page. I need to create a huge page that has all of these keywords, and I'm going to come back to what we have in terms of data. You actually do not have to incorporate all of them, but it's it's really interesting to see that what kind of keywords you need to group together and what kind of topics you need to have together just on one page. So adult erotic literature, for example, that's going to be grouped together with the stories. If I go down the line, Nifty, this is, I think, a brand search because it's a website and it's logically not grouped with anything else. Gay erotic stories, I need to have something separate for this. Makes sense. This also, I just learned today what it is. I'm going to leave you guys to go Google it if you want to know. Spanking is separate. I mean, yeah, of course, it should be. It goes the same for true erotic stories and so on and so on. I can make the jokes all day, but you guys get the point. What I want to just share with you as well today is that apart from these nice graphs that you see when I'm talking about these things, this is why Cluster AI works. It has been battle tested, and I can tell you that it's being battle tested still. If I show you the keyword opportunity analysis, and if I show you a certain set of pages that you can decide to try to rank on, you're going to be able to track all of the keyword variations and see how they're behaving and whether this is working for you or not. And this is something that we are actually doing all the time. So I want to show you something for the end of this presentation. I want to show you something that we are doing at Content Distribution all the time. Sorry that I cannot show you this graph because this is part of a filter of a Google Data Studio report that belongs to our client, and it's not for public viewing, but trust me, it looks pretty much close to this graph as well. Here's what I did by just using regular expression Google Data Studio. I just connected my Google Search Console account. And then what I did is I included the queries for regular expression that are all of the queries that all of the keywords that I'm trying to rank for. And I just uploaded all of them, and I can track them in real time, and I can set this up even before I have started publishing. Just track what is happening with all of my keywords. Okay, thanks everyone for joining today. I want to invite our guests who are here live at Zoom to hang around a bit more to chat, and see you next week for our next recording.